Welcome to this in-depth technical analysis. Today, we will decode the manufacturing process of a mini composite. Speedboat. Take a look at its excellent aerodynamic design, its wave surfing capability, and its static balance. The cockpit is minimally designed with a sporty steering wheel, 2 monolithic molded seats, and a direct feedback steering system that helps the operator fully control its trajectory on the water. At the rear is a racing-style tail wing that optimizes the exhaust airflow from the engine. The powertrain is neatly placed at the back, connecting directly to the propeller shaft via the gearbox. Starting the composite mold manufacturing process, the red negative mold is having its surface thoroughly cleaned. A layer of blue non-stick gel coat is applied evenly. This is a vital step for demolding later. Technicians lay down reinforcing fiberglass, alternating the layers, ensuring the mechanical durability of the hull. Polyester resin mixed with catalyst is tightly rolled and pressed, completely removing air bubbles inside the composite matrix. Every corner of the mold is meticulously detailed with a brush. The uniformity of the resin layer determines the stiffness. The blue shell is gradually taking shape. The exothermic reaction of the curing process is occurring at the molecular level. Controlling the curing agent ratio is an art, preventing the resin from becoming brittle or warping due to temperature. 5. The tense demolding step. Using a hammer and wedges inserted into the gaps to break the surface tension of the nonstick film. The deck shell structure has been successfully extracted from the red negative mold.
Is less than text. Is greater than. The rough surface will need to be sanded. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. And refined is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. Before moving on to the final coating stage. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than text is greater than the surface priming stage. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. A high-pressure spray gun pushes the paint particles to disperse evenly. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than text is greater than, creating a strong bonding film. In 4. The primer is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. Coat in white. Gray helps conceal surface pores on the is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than text is greater than composite. Preparing for the main color coat. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than text is greater than. The color mixing technique is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. Begins with a sporty blue paint coat. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater. Then the dividing line is created using heat-resistant tape. A is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. Skill in controlling the flow. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than text. Is greater than of paint. And the spray angle determines the smoothness. Is less than. Text is greater than. Est inférieur à text. Est supérieur à preventing surface dripping. Est inférieur à text. Est supérieur à. Is less than text is greater than 2. The process of peeling off the protective is less than text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than plastic. Film is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. And tape reveals a sharp color. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. Boundary. Precise. To every millimeter. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than text is greater than the modules, constituting the upper hull of the boat, are complete. Is less than. Text is greater than. Is less than. Text is greater than. The blue and white contrast creates an excellent. Is less than. Text is greater than. Visual effect. 3. Moving on to manufacturing the tail wing. Using a grinder with a wood-cutting disc to shape the water-resistant plywood, the wooden surface is manually sanded. To remove splinters, optimizing the aerodynamic drag coefficient at the boat's tail. Assembling the wing parts using an impact driver. The U-shaped structure, inverted, enhances the downforce on the water surface. The wing is coated in a bold, matte black paint. Peeling off the tape reveals a thin, sharp red border that looks extremely sporty. The crucial moment: merging the upper deck module and the lower hull. The interlocking mortise and tenon design must fit together perfectly. Using a screwdriver with fine-tuned torque to secure the aluminum trims running along the boat's sides. The
anti-rust stainless steel screws drill through the thick composite layer, forming a rigid mechanical connection for the entire structure. Apply soapy water to the surface to attach decorative decals. This solution delays the adhesive's bonding process. Use a plastic squeegee to push out all water and air bubbles, permanently securing the speed-styled sports decals. Installing the simulated exhaust pipe. Mark the position to cut a hole on the boat's tail using a marker. Use a drill with a hole saw bit to pierce through the composite layer, creating a perfect mount for the exhaust pipe. The aerodynamic wing and IMS seats are secured, creating a sophisticated and modern cockpit. The heart of the monster is a gasoline engine, a 13 horsepower Motokawa with an OHV structure and integrated starter. The technician sands the bottom of the boat to increase surface roughness, creating the best adhesive bonding film. One position 2 angle steel bars as the engine mount. Measure carefully to distribute the center of gravity. 2. Mix the polyester resin with the catalyst, which changes the solution's color. Prepare for the curing process. Apply fiberglass and resin to tightly press the steel base to the bottom, creating an ultra-durable composite bond. Apply a gray waterproof gel coat to the base to protect the metal core from corrosion. Drill through the rear transom for bolting. Secure the heavy-duty steel brackets for the wheel system with nuts. Step 4. Assemble the convenient push wheel mechanism. Launching the boat is now much easier and more flexible. Add threaded wooden wedges to the steel base. Prepare a solid foundation to withstand vibrations. Step 4. Take the main engine out of the parts box. The shiny, original mechanical parts are clearly visible. Step 5. Secure the exhaust manifold and silencer to the combustion chamber. Tighten the high-temperature nuts. Process the drive shaft by hammering the spline sleeve onto the engine crankshaft. Install the aluminum water stop flange, along with the rubber seal. Add a red paper gasket to completely prevent oil leaks. Tighten the aluminum flange assembly. Prepare for the straight drive system to pass through the Speedboat stern hull. Use a conical step drill bit to widen the hole in the composite wall, creating a perfect clearance for the propeller shaft. Pull the engine into position. Begin welding the stainless steel tube frame for the propeller assembly. The electric arc melts the metal, creating a solid bond.
The welds are ground completely smooth. Push the card-on shaft assembly through the water stop flange at the stern. Connect it to the engine. Assemble the stainless steel 3-blade propeller onto the threaded end of the shaft. Use a wrench to tighten the nut. Use an angle grinder to smooth out the steel edges. This is the age pin for the steering system tie rod. Ball joint shaft is bolted to the steering arm, allowing the propeller assembly to steer flexibly. Move on to welding the steering wheel bracket. The square steel frame is cut and welded together. Apply a coat of matte black spray paint to prevent rust on the entire steel bracket. Position the steering bracket on the front bulkhead of the cockpit. Drill and screw through the composite hull. Use an impact driver to tighten the bracket system.
Install the steering gearbox onto the flange. The red spoked sport steering wheel is attached to the steering column. Use a hex key to tighten the fixing screws. Pull the steel core steering cable from the stern to the front and connect it to the ball joint shaft of the steering base. Check the play of the steering wheel movement. Smooth mechanical rotation is transmitted straight to the propeller. Permanently secure the 13 horsepower engine block to the floor. Use a wrench to tightly lock the bolts and nuts. Install the black hood at the bow of the boat. Use a drill to screw and secure the plastic edge. Measure and cut the white plastic decorative trims. Apply Apollo Bond silicone adhesive along the trim edges. Press the concealing trims firmly against the inner sidewalls of the boat. Install the ignition switch panel on the right side. Use a heat gun to bend the trim around the steering wheel edge. Continue applying silicone along the cockpit floor. Lay the white floorboards over the composite layer, creating a completely smooth and clean surface. Seal the floor gaps with silicone adhesive. Begin routing the throttle cable out from the engine. Open the throttle valve on the engine. Attach the steel pull cable catch and tighten the limit screws. Install the mechanical throttle lever on the side of the boat, right within convenient reach of the driver. Deploy the 12 volts electrical system. Strip the copper wire insulation and crimp the terminals. Connect the wires from the ignition switch to the starter. Connect the ground and positive wires to the electric starter motor, ensuring a tight and safe connection. The 12 volts lead acid battery is neatly placed in the storage box behind the right side of the gas engine. Attach the red and black power cables to the battery terminals. Tighten them with a hex key to prevent electrical arcing from vibrations. Bundle the electrical wiring neatly. Use electrical tape to wrap them tightly along the side of the boat. Use a drill to make holes and use plastic zip ties to secure the cable routes, ensuring they don't dangle loosely. Clean the cockpit with a vacuum cleaner. Clear away plastic shavings and wood dust on the floorboards. Pump fuel for the gasoline engine. The flexible hose ensures a precise flow into the fuel tank. Install the engine compartment cover. Aerodynamic design combined with optimal cooling vents. Turn the ignition key. The 13 horsepower engine roars to life powerfully.
Quickly detaching. The front wheel assembly via. The engine torque is extremely impressive. Install the seating row. Apollo Bond adhesive continues to be applied, combined with securing straps to clamp it tightly. The rear hood latches are locked tightly. The mini speedboat is now officially fully completed. Let's admire this masterpiece. featuring a sharp aerodynamic design, sporty decals, and an extremely modern interior. From the steering wheel, and aerodynamic spoiler to the propulsion system, everything exudes professionalism. Beginning the transport process, the 3 auxiliary wheels system proves highly effective on land. First, towing the boat to the riverbank. The ultra-lightweight composite hull structure allows one person to easily maneuver and transport it. Second, a successful launch, an incredibly smart mechanical locking pin. Third, subsequently removing the 2 rear wheels. The boat floats perfectly still and balanced on the water. Fourth, attaching the propeller assembly and steering arm to the stern, using a wrench to tighten the universal joint connection. Assembling the steering tie rod to transfer movement from the steering wheel directly to the underwater propeller. Stepping into the cockpit, everything is ready for an everything. Exciting test run on the water. Throttling up, the boat glides at wind-cutting speed, slicing smoothly through waves thanks to the V-hull design. The first-person view demonstrates linear acceleration capabilities, while the 13-horsepower engine runs incredibly smoothly. The composite hull absorbs impacts excellently, gliding smoothly through narrow waters filled with water hyacinths and
Obstacles. Observed from behind, the aerodynamic spoiler compresses the airflow, effectively neutralizing the hull's lifting force. The stability of the straight propeller shaft ensures the thrust is not dispersed, optimizing the engine's entire power output. The maximum speed achieved is truly impressive. The V-shaped hull design tears through the water, minimizing hydrodynamic drag. Those sharp turns prove an extremely tight turning radius, and a steering cable system with absolute precision feedback. Returning to the dock for a dual payload test of the composite, frame structure perfectly withstands the compressive force from the heavy weight. With 2 adult passengers, the waterline remains at an ideally safe level, and the displacement volume creates excellent buoyancy. Despite the increased load, the torque
of the Motokawa gasoline engine block still has ample power to propel the boat forward. Third, acceleration is not significantly reduced. The powerful wave-cutting force proves extremely accurate hydrodynamic calculations. Fourth, perfect dynamic balance. There is no wobbling, even when traveling at high speeds carrying 2 people. An outstanding project that perfectly combines mechanical engineering, ultra-lightweight composite materials, and aerodynamics.